You didn't think I was going to be gone forever, did you? Um, Today has just been, I don't know, it's just been crazy. Everything's going on. Um, I was just starting to, deal with all of this, and then suddenly there's Gina Carano got fired. And I don't even know if I'm going to be doing a video of that. Um, so today, um, I figured I'd start off by saying this isn't how I wanted to come back. This is not how I wanted to come back to YouTube. Um, I was considering here in the next month or so about coming back with a nice, maybe 4 to 6 hour stream of, well, not 6 hour unless I take breaks, but a nice stream of the Final Fantasy VII remake, because I have the game and I don't think I've ever streamed it on my channel. Um, I played a little bit of it, um, but we'll talk more about that after we're done with this. So, for context, or I don't even know why I said context. I'll probably come up with some catchy, some like really edgy or catchy title, and people already know. So, anyways, earlier today, Charisma Carpenter, and she is best known. She played the character Cordelia Chase on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the majority of its spinoff, Angel. She came forward today and she admitted, now this isn't something that's come out of nowhere. Um, During Angel season 4, or before Angel season 4, Charisma was pregnant with a baby. All people knew about when this season aired, because they did this really stupid plotline so that way then they could work in the baby and whatnot. But all that was said, all that people knew of was that she had the baby. There was stuff going on behind the scenes. This was back when this aired, this was 2002 or 2003. Um, right when Buffy was ending. It was like 2003, I believe. So, not much was known about it, but there crap happened behind the scenes, and she got fired because I think it was because she had the baby, and there was all this stuff. So she came forward today with a statement, and before anyone says anything, I believe her. I believe her because this is something here. The drama, this whole situation, there was always stuff said behind the scenes that there was crap going on, like almost feuding and stuff between Joss Whedon and Charisma Carpenter. So she posted this earlier today. She wrote, "My truth, hashtag I stand with Ray Fisher." She writes, "For nearly 2 decades, I have held my tongue and even made excuses for certain events that traumatize me to this day. Joss Whedon abused his power on numerous occasions while working together on the sets of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. While he found his misconduct amusing, it only served to intensify my performance anxiety, disempower me, and alienate me from my peers. The disturbing incidents triggered a chronic physical condition from which I still suffer. It is with a beating, heavy heart that I say I am coped in isolation and, at times, destructively. Last summer, when Ray Fisher publicly accused Joss of abusive and unprofessional behavior towards the cast and crew during reshoots on the Justice League set in 2017, it gutted me. Joss has a history of being casually cruel. He has created hostile and toxic work environments since his early career. I know because I experienced it firsthand, repeatedly. Like his ongoing passive-aggressive threats to fire me, which wreaks havoc on a young actor's self-esteem, and callously calling me fat to colleagues when I was 4 months pregnant, weighing 126 pounds. He was mean and biting, disparaging, I hope I said that right, about others openly and often played, I'm not even laughing, disparaging about others. I hope I said that right. That's what I meant. I'm not laughing. This isn't funny. I'm not happy with this at all. And anyways, I'm going to continue. About others openly and often played favorites, pitting people against one another to compete and via for his attention and approval. He called me in for a sit-down meeting to interrogate and berate me regarding a rosary tattoo I got to help me feel more spiritually grounded in an increasingly volatile work climate that affected me physically. Josh intentionally refused multiple calls from my agents, making it impossible to connect with him to tell him the news that I was pregnant. Finally, once Josh was apprised of the situation, he requested a meeting with me. In that closed-door meeting, he asked me if I was going to keep it, and manipulatively weaponized my womanhood and faith against me. He proceeded to attack my character, mock my religious beliefs, accuse me of sabotaging the show, and then unceremoniously fired me the following season once I gave birth. I especially believe the bit about the religious beliefs because he's atheist. So I'm not saying they're all like that, but I wouldn't put it past him to mock people who have religious beliefs. At 6 months pregnant, I was asked to report to work at 1 a.m. after my doctor recommended shortening my work hours. Due to long and physically demanding days and the emotional stress of having to defend my needs as a working pregnant woman, I began to experience Braxton Hicks contractions. That it was clear to me the 1 a.m. call was retaliatory. Retaliatory, yeah. And she adds, let me get the rest. Back then, I felt powerless and alone with no other option. I swallowed the mistreatment and carried on. After all, I had a baby on the way, and I was the primary breadwinner of my growing family. Fortunately, all of this was happening during one of the most wonderful time in new motherhood. All that promise and joy sucked right out, and Joss was the vampire. Despite the harassment, um, a part of me still sought his validation. I made excuses for his behavior and repressed my own pain. I have even stated publicly in conventions that I'd work with him again, which I have seen. I've seen conventions where she said she made a claim saying that things were okay, that things, whatever was going on, that they mended the bridges or made up, and that she would be willing to work with him again. Given that, as far as I know, she never, in any of his projects, any of his films or anything, she never did work with him again. So I think that's important. That's also key here, that she never worked with him again after Angel. Only recently, after years of therapy and a wake-up call from the Time's Up movement, do I understand the complexities of this demoralized thinking. It is impossible to understand the psyche without enduring the abuse. Our society and industry vilify the victims and glorify the abusers for their accomplishments. The onus is on the abused with an expectation to accept and adapt to the employable. No accountability on the transgressor who sails on the unscathed, unrepentant, remorseless. These memories and more have weighed on my soul like bricks for nearly half of my life. I wish I said something sooner. I wish I had the composure and courage all those years ago, but I muted myself in shame and conditioned silence. With tears welling, I feel an overwhelming sense of responsibility to Ray and others for remaining private about my experience with Josh and the suffering it has cost me. It is abundantly evident that Jaws has persisted in his harmful actions, continuing to create wreckage in his wake. My hope now, by finally coming forward about these experiences, is to create space for the healing of others who I know have experienced similar serialized abuses of power. Recently, I participated in Warner Media's Justice League investigation because I believe Ray to be a person of integrity who is telling the truth. His firing a cyborg in The Flash was the last straw for me. Although I am not shocked, I am deeply pained by it. It troubles and saddens me that in 2021 professionals still choose between whistleblowing in the workplace and job security. It has taken me so long to muster the courage to make this statement publicly. The gravity of it is not lost on me. As a single mother whose family's livelihood is dependent on my craft, I'm scared. Despite my fear about its impact on my future, I can no longer remain silent. This is overdue and necessary. It is time. Wow. It just I knew there was drama. I didn't know that it was this bad, and I certainly didn't know that there was based on what she's writing here. It seems there's nothing seeming about it. It's this happened to her throughout the entirety of Buffy and Angel, and I mean you think that's that's at least 6 years, 6 7 years, because you have 3 seasons of Buffy, although season one was a mid-season replacement. But then again, I think they filmed those episodes the previous year, so still 7 years, 7 years, 3 seasons on Buffy, 4 seasons on Angel, and then she had a guest role one final time in season five, which was her send off, which was the character send off episode. Um, I want to take the time to say, regardless how people feel about her, I know that I saw her Twitter feed and her posts. There was a few subtle posts that leaned towards a certain side that, but I'm not going to get into that. This isn't about that. Regardless of whatever political side, whatever, I still I still think I already thought she was cool, that she was awesome as Cordelia Chase, and that she was, and you could tell. I always, and I don't even know if I can still think this now. If she was suffering behind the scenes for 7 years, there were times in on Buffy and on Angel that you could tell she loved playing this character. She loved playing Cordelia Chase. And her backstory, I mean not her backstory, but her development. She has the character had one of the best developments, character developments I've seen ever. And I think she knew that, and I think she just loved excluding all of this with Joss. I think she loved going on this journey with the character. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to go off track from what's going on here. But it's hard for me to still think that, because now the whole show she was probably manipulated and treated awful, and I don't know how to I know how to feel. I feel awful about it. I feel sad. I feel it's really crazy. Um this this doesn't I already regarding Joss, I already started to dislike him as a person, at least for the past year or so. There was this one thing he did regarding these teen girls who had cancer and they recovered, and he did this stupid joke where it was like Trump was saying that they were not a 10 or whatever. Um, and I thought that was stupid. The only sort of defense he made, the only sort of defense, Joss, or the only thing he ever, that I know of, that he said when the Ray Fisher stuff went out was he announced that um, he confirmed something about that he considered himself a woke bae, which was just really stupid. But um, Josh said nothing. As far as I know, he never made any sort of counterclaim, nothing during the Ray Fisher stuff. Um, and this just happened. I don't know. It's been almost. It'll be 24 hours here shortly. But I'm I'm more when I'm stunned and shocked, and I don't want to make this about me, but when I'm stunned and shocked, it's not necessarily that he did this, because I already started having this feeling that he was, a scumbag. I used to admire him. That's what's really pitiful. I used to admire him, and then the past year or so, I stopped because I knew that you need to when there's a person that you admire and they start getting when there's stuff like coming out like this and there's stuff going on and they show themselves to be a really shitty person, you can't still admire them, at least to me. um but I will say I was really shocked that this wasn't just something that happened prior to season 4. This was most likely the whole 7 years. um regarding her though, I'm glad that she mustered the strength to write this statement and come out and say that this happened, given that she had kept silent for 2 decades. 2 decades that this was going on. Um so I'm proud of her. I mean, I already thought she was cool before, but this she's even cooler to me now. Um and thankfully, from what I've seen comments, or I've seen tweets and Instagram posts. Sarah Michelle Gellar, she came for, or she said about how, well, she will always be proud of being attached, like having her name attached to Buffy Summers. She doesn't want her name attached to Joss Whedon, so that says a lot right there. Amber Benson, who played Tara on the show, came forward and she said that everything Charisma was saying was 100% true. I also heard that Michelle Trachtenberg, who played Dawn for the last 2 seasons, shared her support as well. I haven't seen what the post was, um, but it's disgusting. It's really disgusting that this happened to her and that she had gotten trauma, trauma and pain, and living with that for 20 years is just, I hope she'll be okay. I'm glad that she got help, got the help she needed, got the therapy and all of this. And I said this earlier, and I'll say this now. I said this earlier to my sister, and I'll say this now. 126 pounds. I'll say this. 126 pounds is not fat. Even if she had, a baby, like a belly for having a baby, if she was pregnant, had a baby belly or whatever, however it's called, 126 pounds is not fat. And that was just very, very disgusting thing to say. And all of this stuff here is just, I mean, and that's the thing, this, because I started watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in 2014, so I knew for years that there was drama. This is shocking. It's really shocking. I wish, going into this, I feel like I wish I had made a script. I wish I had made a script because I'm just reacting. I don't know what to say. Um, I don't know what to say. It's just, it's crazy. It's really crazy. Um, I already said about, I hope she's doing okay. I hope she gets, just I want to say I hope she gets better, and that is the right thing to say. It's just, it's going through that. It's not something that you can just say, "Oh, I hope you feel better," and it just goes away. It's a this who knows how long this. I mean, this, I don't know. It might affect her for the rest of her life. It's just, um, regarding related news. And this, I mean, this is relevant. I'm trying to think of what else to say. I mean, I might as well just go with what I know. Go with what I know. Um, Back in 2016 or 2017, they it was announced there was supposed to be a new show coming by Joss, and it was going to be something about, I think it was going to be like a mix up of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and A Handmaid's Tale. I think, I'm not sure, but that was 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago, and I'm hearing now that it's. I mean, it may as well be canceled now. His career is over. Joss is over. Not canceled. I'm not gonna say canceled because I know the problems that stem from that. But what he did was really wrong, and I'm not gonna go and change that. He is a pig. He is a disgusting human being. He's a little plebe, troll, gremlin, bitch ass moron. And it's just, um, so anyways, nothing came from that. And then they said about how there was going to be a Buffy reboot, and they said both this new show and the Buffy reboot, he was going to be involved with it. And I mean, the last time I covered Buffy reboot news was a statement made in 2018. 2018. And I even remember I had checked the video. I think it was August 31st, 2018, when I posted that video. And it mentioned that it was supposed to be the new cast of characters in the reboot, that it wasn't going to be, that they said like the showrunner said there's only one Willow, one Xander, one Cordelia, one Tara, one Giles, and that the new show was going to be, I guess, a sort of sequel series, I guess, focusing on a different Slayer named Buffy. Perhaps I figured when I did that video, I figured that perhaps, given Buffy, she got quite the reputation with season 7, and then the comics, everybody, she became more worldwide, so people would know her, and I figured the gist of the new show, if it really was a sequel series in a sense, that it would just focus on it would focus on a new girl, a new black girl named Buffy, also named Buffy, she would be named after the Slayer legend, or something. But that's what I'm thinking, and this August it will be 3 years since that, and there wasn't even any new news before COVID hit. There was nothing for the rest of 2018. There was nothing for 2019. There was nothing. So it may have. If it wasn't canceled before, then the show. If it wasn't canceled before, then it probably is now. Because I can tell you now, I don't think anyone would want to work with this pitiful excuse of a human being. I don't think anybody would want to work with someone like Joss Whedon, given all of this. Um, but I just don't know anymore. Um, it's the wildest. Not. I'm glad. I keep saying I'm glad she came out with this. She needed to let this come out and bring this to light, because the poor thing is just, no one deserves that. No one deserves. I mean, that's the thing, is that if when a person is doing something in entertainment, like an actor, if you're writing a show and you have actors and stuff, you don't you don't do that. You don't abuse them. You don't treat them as lesser. You don't threaten them. You don't get off on treating them miserably. I don't care what anyone's excuse is. You don't do that. It's disgusting. But anyways, I honestly don't know what else to say. I guess, as for other stuff, I don't know if, I guess, going on with everything else, um, I don't know if I'm coming back to YouTube. Um, I certainly don't know if I'm doing a Gina Carano video, because that was that whole. All I will say about that was people's reaction to it was just stupid. it was just stupid because they're going and making up lies and taking things out of context just to shame her. Anyways, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Um, I don't know, cause I said after this came out, because Buffy was such a big part. That really helped. It helped the show helped me get through some rough times, and it just, that and the spinoff, they were both amazing. And as a fan of the supernatural genre, they were what I considered the best, some of the best in that genre to me. But for later this year, it'll be 7 years since I first watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Netflix, and back when it was on Netflix. And when I heard this, I knew I had to do a video. I had to do a video because it really it pained me, and I felt like I needed to do this. I needed to talk about this because it just, ever since I heard about it earlier today, it's just been on my mind, and I needed to express it all. But as I said, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with this thing on my screen right now. And I hope that doesn't happen to anybody else in the future, because no one deserves that. Um, so I did the video. I'm doing the video now. It's already getting late. Um, I guess I'll get ready. I'll wrap this up, and I'll see what else. Maybe I was considering, when I was thinking about doing this earlier today, I was also thinking about also doing this as a stream, where I talk about it as a stream. I do like having answering questions from people, interacting with anyone who joins in when the topic is, with questions related to the topic at hand. I was even considering doing this video. Just originally, I was just going to do this as a stream and not a video and then a stream. But I figured I'd do a video, and then I guess I'll wait a couple nights and do a stream. Um, but as far as I know, this isn't a return. I wanted to do this video, get it out of the way, and might do a stream talking about it. As I said, love answering questions, but this wasn't how I wanted to come back. I was thinking maybe I had a clever idea originally about coming back April 1st, April Fool's Day, and I would stream Final Fantasy VII, the Final Fantasy VII remake, and just as something funny to do, something random and funny. Be like, surprise, I'm back, and I'm streaming Final Fantasy VII, but it doesn't really fit the April Fool's Day holiday, but whatever. Um, thank you all for joining me. Um, thank you for watching if you've made it this far in. Stay safe, stay home, and if you go out, wear masks. Just um, try. I mean, honestly, I see so much hate everywhere. I see so much hate everywhere from people, and it's not just one political side or the other. Just everybody. Everybody's just hating, being mean, being awful human beings, and I mean, if you can, just take the time, spread some love. Spread some love and just try to remind others that there's still good in this world. Try not to be a Joss Whedon, just or try not to be like Joss Whedon. Just spread love, spread kindness, help others. If like it's like what when I watched the video with there's a video with Betty White telling Katie Couric about like instead of focusing on the negative or whatever, just try to focus on what you can do to your community, like what you can do to help your circle of friends, your circle of family and people, what positive thing you can bring. So just stay positive, stay happy, spread the love, spread the happiness, stay safe, and just try to try to make things better. Well, this is Crimson Prince signing out. Bye.